Well, I've just had a delivery from the wholesaler, and although I'm very pushed for time with the organ restoration work, it's a really nasty day, and I need to do something outside. We have some outside benches, and it's raining and it's cold, so I don't really fancy setting up things outside for the next stage. I will go in there later. I need to steam some glue off. Right, so I've not seen one of these before. PNI HP8900, and I've not seen anything else which looks like it. 1.7 inch colour display for whatever reason, and it looks like it's not going to have a squelch knob, so I'm not going to love it on that count. Let's see what we get. Let's see if we can get into the packet. A PNI sticker. Some certificates to say that it conforms to whatever. I'll tell you what, it's actually in decent sized print, this book. I can see it. I won't need to wear 3 pairs of glasses. So, what's it supposed to do? It's got scan. It's got hidden RF gain. It's got CTCSS. And it looks like it's going to do FM only on CPT on the UK. Oh well, we'll see what happens anyway. Oh, 12 or 24 volts it says. Supposed to be 4 watts. And it's supposed to do better than 1 microvolt, but it didn't tell you for what synad. So yeah, that's fair enough. Get mic wiring, which is useful. And when we get the thing stuck to the what's it, it's lucky that is gloss, so it would have spoilt it. So, car electronics and home security. CB radios. We've got some PNI aerials to test. It's just we need the weather to pick up a bit for that. Oh, I know what we need. The whole idea of looking in the instruction book was to see what we have to do to make it go into UK country setting. Oh, it's here. Turn off the radio, hold down the 9 and 19 button and the multifunction button 1. So 7 and the multifunction that one at the same time. Turn the knob for the country, turn the radio back off and back on again. Right. See if I can remember that in my mind that doesn't remember anything. Nearly dropped it. Right, we'll put the box somewhere. Six-pin mic. That looks like the Amstrad. Pause this video. Yes, it is the same moulding as the Amstrad, but it's the opposite polarity. So that's a... We actually have these. We bought in these mouldings, like we've got the mouldings for the Maxcoms, but we haven't had the pins come yet. They're not due till about June. I ordered them about 6 months ago, but you know what it's like. So someone said, does the CRT Hero, Anytone Hero, have the same pin as an Amstrad? And I haven't been able to answer that question because it means because our Hero's in store. I don't know. So the answer is yes, but the opposite polarity. If this is the same as the Anytone Hero. So it's now got me thinking. So you get a cigarette lighter plug on the end, and we'll have to still go in with our crocodile clips. Right, so we'll switch it off, and we'll switch it on holding that, and we're in the UK. Then we switch it off again. Then we switch it on again. Probably. Way. There we are. So, how do we get into another band? Oh. So I think, oh, unless it's there, no. So it looks like, or just check with the instructions, it looks like you're stuck with UK only. It suits me, but it might not suit others, that's why we're testing. It doesn't wrap round. Okay. Right, we'll switch picture in picture on. And we'll set the meter to 3 watt scale, and it does 2.9 watts. What on earth was that silly noise when I let go of the mic? I hope that's not a Roger bleep. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Oh my goodness. Oh, just to make it worse, you've got 3 options. So let's have a look. Oh, briefly press to go into a different band. Yes, that goes into CPT. It goes back to UK, back to CPT, back to UK, but it doesn't do it doesn't do AM without programming it to go into a different country. So that's disappointing when it's the latest model. Not that I want to use it, but I'm just saying. So, let's have a look. How do we get into additional? Long press on the menu button. Brightness. Oh, but you can't read the book and do it at the same time because it times out. Long press on the button and you turn this knob. Key tone, noise blanker, high cut, timeout timer, Roger bleep. Okay, so what happens now? So that's Roger bleep number 2. That's Roger bleep number 2. So select that, move it across 1, enter. Yeah, right. So there's the 3 options. So now we'll get rid of them. Hey, no Roger bleep. What you have got then is RF gain in that menu. Right. So it's doing 3 watts, and let's see what the transmitted deviation is. 1 2 1 2 1 2 wallow. Just make sure we're tuned in. 1 2 1 2 wallow. We are 1.5, 1.6 low as they always are. And now look at how it's receiving. Right, we'll plug in the... Turn the volume down. We'll just plug in the extension speaker. Switch on the synod meter. Turn down the signal generator. Oh, let's see what S9 reads on the meter. S9 reads about 8. It's 300 microvolts for S9. I don't expect that's adjustable. The transmit meter, chances are it's fake anyway. They usually are these days. But just for the laugh, we'll key it up, knowing that it's doing 3 watts output, and it swings right across beyond the 8, whatever that means. So, right, we'll turn down the signal generator, and we need to disable the squelch. Oh, that's the wrong... There we go. No, that's not the right... No, that's the right one. So for 12 dB cyanide, it's actually doing 0.34 of a microvolt. For 10 dB cyanide, it's doing 0.29 of a microvolt. And for 20 dB cyanide, it's actually doing 0.68 of a microvolt. So it's actually very good on receive. So we'll open it up and see whether there's any adjustments inside, and it's those daft Torx things. We've probably got a daft Torx screwdriver on here if we have the right one. Pause the video while I find something to fit. Okay, so we're inside it. There are actually one or two adjustments. I would guess that's the CTCSS board. I won't unstick that. Mic goes there. Got a regulator transistor there. We've got some kind of I don't know. It looks pretty hefty anyway. We've got a controller chip, and we've got the output transistor there. We've got a preset there. We've got a preset there. You can't see what I'm writing, so I'm just talking to myself. A couple of electrolytics. So one of these says AM mod, but it's ambiguous as to whether it's that one or that one, which then leaves us with two others. So that's probably AM mod. So I'm not sure what that is. Then we've got one there, which is probably power, and I wonder if that's deviation. In which case we've still got one extra. Right, we'll key it up. I'll put it on. There we go. So we'll key it up. We're at 13.8 volts. We're drawing 1.6 amps. You can tell it's not an old set, which only will draw 1.1 amps. And let's see what happens when we adjust that. It's power. So at full whack it does 3.1 volts. Right, I'm going to turn the power supply up. I'm going to turn the power supply up to 24 volts. And at 24 volts it's 3.1 watt. Right, we're going to turn the power supply to 14.4 volts, as if it was charging in some cars that charge at that. And it's 4 watts. 3 watts still. Right, we'll just get that adjusted to where it should be. There we go, 13.8 it is. Right, so we'll get the little oscillator out. See what we can do with the deviation. So is it that one or is it that one? Isn't that one? Isn't that one? Isn't that one? How can that be the case? You know what? It sounds like it's going off frequency with that. I wonder if that's frequency. That would be a strange way of doing it. No, I can't get them to affect it. So let's look at frequency. So we should have 2779125, and I said it sounded like it was changing frequency with this one. I'll tell you what, that's power as well, and that brings us up to 4 watts. So I'm not sure why that's power as well. Well, that affects power, and that affects power. I'm at a loss there. So where's deviation? I wonder if it is on. I wonder if that's on that board. Turn it off. So taking the buffer off there are no presets on that board, so we'll put that back. Well, I think what we need to do is to put it into AM mode. So we will switch it on, holding the channel 9 switch. I can never remember whether it's CE we want. No, we don't. Must be EU then. There we go. So I'll put this on channel 40, then I'm not messing with my adjustments. We only want to have this working on UK set of channels. So let's see what the transmit power is in AM. It's now 4.3. So I wonder if one of these affects AM power, and whether it was one of those. That does affect it. Does that affect it? Yeah, so it's slightly over at 4.1 there. Right, well let's look at modulation then. We'll get to the bottom of which preset's which. Just have to retune the machine. So it's showing 90%. So that is AM mod. And that... Oh, we've got the stupid Roger Bleep back. Right, we'll go to FM. So we're now back in FM. We'll set the machine up for FM, which we're now back in, and we'll just see whether... Well, that's got to be deviation, surely. Nope. Well, I'm not usually at a loss, but we are today. I mean, that can be modulation depth. I appreciate this. Both of those could be AM mod, but I didn't see that coming up when I did that adjustment. It could be. It could even be S meter, but I highly doubt that. So we'll go back to the UK set of channels. We've done the AM. Prove that. So we've got an S9 equivalent signal, so it doesn't affect that. We'll press transmit. I genuinely don't think that anything makes any difference. It's just the way it's programmed to display. No. We've got the tone back now. The Roger Bleep, the silly Roger Bleep. So now we've changed channels. Frustratingly, it looks like I've got to go through all this rigmarole. Yeah, it's got back on. Because I didn't respond within 2 seconds, it's gone and taken it off me again. No, that's not what I want. Right, so hopefully that's gone again. I don't know. I just don't know what that is, but we need to be able to do deviation because it's so quiet. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 wallow. 1 2 1 2 wallow. Wallow. 1 2. No, it doesn't affect that. Well, I'll see if there's something else I can find. No, can't find anything any further. So, sorry to say, I can't find anything to help deviation. That has some adjustments, but I don't know what it's supposed to do. Wish there was a service manual. So if we talk close, wallow, 1 2 1 2 wallow. Sure, I did it better than that. 1 2 1 2 1 2 wallow. Right, well that's not got us anywhere further, so we'll put it to bed. So it's going to be a bit quiet. I'm sure there isn't some hidden menu when everything else is adjustable, so I don't know. So this is T8. Which seems to fit. Right, well I haven't really got anything else to say about that. We failed to be able to set the deviation. And we'll plug it into the aerial. It's certainly got a very sensitive receiver, and it's certainly doing 4 watts. But with deviation where it is, it's going to be pretty quiet. I don't know how I've got into mute. Oh, there we are. Well, now, Roger. Local farmers tend to use channel 9. They're about 3 miles away. Right, we'll set the squelch. So, squelch. Squelch. No, that's manual squelch. That's manual squelch. That's auto squelch. That's manual squelch. Hey, it's gone. So let's see where squelch is on another channel, which I should have set it on. Yeah, it looks like 12's about it. Well, there we are. What can I say? Failed to find out how to do deviation. I'm sure there's no hidden menus. Perhaps it's a select on testing at the factory. There you are, the PNI HP8900. Very good on receive and 4 watts on transmit, but we were unable to adjust the deviation. Thanks for watching.